Quentin Tarantino is premiering his new film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, here at the Cannes Film Festival. I think it's fair to say it is the most anticipated movie at this year's festival. It's going to be premiering 25 years to the day from the day that Pulp Fiction did in 1994. The question I have is, Quentin Tarantino has said that this film, which is his ninth, is his next to last. He's only going to make 10 films, and he has hewed to that. Do you think that's true?
You know, I never trust an entertainer when they say that they are retiring. Take Cher, take Elton John, who's on his farewell tour and who has a biopic, Rocket Man, here in the festival.
Steven Soderbergh, that retirement lasted 6 months.
When you have creative personalities, they can't stop doing that. They can't stop scratching that itch. Stephen King, how many novels has he published since his retirement?
But what I love about Quentin's vow is that I actually think he really means it. Quentin Tarantino has spent so much of his life and career sort of living inside the early 70s, or his dream of what they were. It's sort of his Garden of Eden. And I haven't seen this movie yet, but it feels like maybe it's a movie about the birth of the 70s. So I think it's a real potential summing up for him. And then he'll make one more movie, which he probably doesn't know yet. But look, I think he will keep to his vow for a while. But he first said that he was only going to make 10 films and retire around the age of 60 in an interview he gave to The New Yorker at the time of Kill Bill Volume 1. He said that filmmaking, it just requires too much strength and stamina to do it very well when you're older. But I think people age differently now, and I think once he's been away from it for a few years, I just can't imagine Quentin Tarantino spending the rest of his life after 60 without getting behind the camera.
It's almost as if built into that promise, he's got an ageist remark saying that, show me the directors who, until their dying day, were still working at their prime. And so he's almost promising to his fans that he's going to quit making movies while he's ahead.
That's right.
You know, that said, I do think that, 10 is kind of an arbitrary number. Yes, it's kind of got a nice round ring to it, but why not 9? Why not 15? I mean, it's as long as he's got stories in him. What I do think it may mean is that we may see Quentin finally branching out into some of these other fields, like he's sort of teased that maybe he would want to do a mini-series or something for Netflix.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. And I also think that these 10 films that Quentin will have made, they will sort of be his first film cycle. And maybe he'll then go on to something else, kind of like Eric Romer. Maybe what he will finally be saying goodbye to at the end of this cycle is the 1970s.
Even so, this movie is arriving 25 years after Pulp Fiction won the Palme d'Or. And the question I have is, not whether he's going to quit, it's whether this film can possibly have the impact, surprising and wowing the world the way that Pulp Fiction did. I'm always excited to see a new film by Quentin Tarantino, but I will say that I kind of have an idea now of what his shtick is or what he does. It's something that he can knock out of the park, but at the same time, I think we kind of have a handle on what this movie might be.
Well, I don't know. This feels like it could be something newer than that to me. Look, Pulp Fiction was a one-film revolution, and maybe that can't quite be duplicated in terms of its influence. But it was also a film that had true greatness in it, as I think some Tarantino films have had, like Inglourious Basterds, which was at Cannes. And so that's what I'm looking for. Not necessarily another revolution, but a Tarantino movie that really touches those heights, and that's my hope.